All right, let's just get started. So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture and close your eyes and just settle in and just check in with yourself. Like you would with a friend who's just come home from work. Hi, how are you? How was your day? What's going on? Are you okay? How was the traffic? That's our main topic of conversation here. That's always a great excuse when you're running late as well. So feel your feet on the floor. Try and feel the whole of the foot, the soles, the side of the foot, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and all your little toe pads. Really try and feel the weight of the feet on the ground, sort of connecting through to the earth, which is below whatever surface you're on. Maybe feel the weight of your hands in your lap, either in the regular meditation mudra or just resting comfortably. And just be sitting on top of your sits bones. Or if you're in a cross-legged position, maybe have your sits bones slightly raised. It helps to align the spine. And have your shoulders align with your hips and your ears align with your shoulders as best you can. And imagine your spine is just this beautiful string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just lengthening. And then bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the face. Just allow some softening there. The forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the tongue, the jaw, the ears, the temples, the back of the head, the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And then just notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. A little bit cooler as you breathe in, slightly warmer as you exhale. And some of you might prefer to feel or to notice the sensations of the breath rather than at the nostrils, maybe, and the rising and the falling of the chest, or expansion of the ribs, or the rising and falling of the belly. And be aware of the sounds in your environment. So just allowing them to be there, trying not to follow with the mind, trying not to run off and investigate. And then just notice what's arising in your mind this evening. Might be a lot of busyness, sort of all the energy and the thoughts and the busyness of today still kind of rumbling around the brain. Maybe you have some pleasant memories there of friendship. Whatever is lining up for you there, just take a step back And the main energy here is observation and curiosity. So be curious about what you're noticing. Maybe also there's a color or a texture to your thoughts. And then bring to mind all the people of your life up, and our precious loved ones. Some of us so fortunate to have, these people in our life. So it's always a reminder to me when I do this meditation, even though it's not included in the text. It's a reminder to me to be grateful. Because in our tradition, virtue and kindness to others in the past is what creates the cause for these beautiful friendships that we have, these connections. And then there's these kind of people in our life we don't like so much, or we just don't trust them. Or maybe they're just on a completely different track to us. And then there's our strangers. And as I remind you all, we have lots of strangers here on those busy roads, 101. It's a main corridor for a lot of us here in Marin to get from one end of Marin to the other. And maybe you have traffic, now everyone's back at school, so there's different traffic flow. Anyway, all these people are strangers to us. These relationships, it's good to remember, they're impermanent. They don't necessarily, some people are fortunate to have friends in their lives for so long, but they're interchangeable. That enemy could become a friend. And, they're just like you and me, even the ones we feel distant from, in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for this kind of Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So, we start by thinking there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And so we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon, his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, brilliant, blissful, radiant white light. sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has, his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. And the left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right holds a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And when they're crossed in this way, it represents enlightenment, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about those who've harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum He. And so be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is this purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, all our inappropriate speech, all our sort of not knowing what to say at what time, a lack of wisdom, lack of discernment, all of this kind of, anyway, inappropriate speech. And imagine it's all purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboal Sitokaya Meboal Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboal Sitokaya Meboal Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. And again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is this purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you just imagine, you walk into a room, it's dark, and you flick on the switch, and the light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and instantly all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, attachment, depression, anxiety, neediness, bitterness, anger, resentment, jealousy, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sabasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sabasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam shiyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Vrita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Vrita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. So just imagine that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, imagine it's all gone, completely finished. And now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shiyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Trita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ah Hum Pe. So now feel just completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and really a crucial one. This is this idea of making a decision. So we have this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So just rejoice in your efforts, coming along here and working on your mind and your habits and all these bits and pieces. And then think of something maybe you've been working on this week, or you'd like to work on. Maybe it's sort of shining a light on this negative self-talk. Maybe commit to talking to yourself the way you might talk to your pet. Tell them how beautiful they are. They're the best person, the best puppy or cat in the world. Then imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So let's just meditate a little bit on emptiness. So we think, in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily exist the way we think they do. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all this positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just read another 3 verses for the swift return of precious Rinpoche. The Yama killer ruling obstacles, instilling fear with Vajra impetus, the Vajra-hearted famous for his Vajra, with belly large with Vajras of illusion. The Vajra-born, the sovereign of the Vajra, akin to space, his core comprised of Vajras, unmoving, haughty, with his single dreadlock, his clothes, elephant raw hide still moist. The great terrific one who cries ha-ha, who screams he, instilling fervent fear, his laugh a screeching laugh, a booming laugh. He is the Vajra laugh, the mighty howl. Okay, so let's just, I love that. It sounds very Shakespearean. And slightly gory. Okay, let's just dedicate a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche. And, do have a thought or a wish for all of your own teachers to live long. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for hosting, Shayla. And lots of love. And I'll see you all tomorrow night. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.